Hello, everyone. I must apologise. I thought my live was scheduled for 2:30. Now it's always scheduled at 2 o'clock. Why did I think that? I can only assume that it's because for me it's 2 p.m. I thought it's 2 p.m., but I thought it was 2:30 p.m. it's scheduled for. And I can only think that's because my other lives that are scheduled are 5:30. So for some reason, I took this as being 2:30. And where have I been? I've been here today. There was like other days I rush in from my appointments and quickly do it. And I've just been hanging around. I must say that I was loading a very long video, and that did finish at the time this was supposed to be live. But I thought, oh, that's great. It's finished in plenty of time. And I've just been reading my book, waiting for my 2:30, which isn't yet. But I just went to my computer. I've got it lined up on StreamYard, and I saw some lovely comments waiting there for me. And I thought, oh, they've been waiting early. How lovely. And I thought, right, I just looked, they do a countdown at the top to show you. And it says, it's showtime, you're live. Like, it's time for live. It's showtime they put up. And I was like, what? It's not even past yet. I was like, no. So I don't know what happened on your end. I know with the YouTube version it says waiting or waiting for their channel or whatever. I don't know. But I do apologise. It's more annoying, as I say, because I was actually here waiting to do it. As I say, I just finished loading a really long video, and it was actually the video on what's it called, on my last live. I was filming it to show you what I do prior to a live, and even that I was ready on time to start the actual live. So I do apologize, and I think they've left the building now, but thank you to Steve and Tina Jewel for waiting patiently. I don't know if the whole uploaded video will be with a great big blank bit at the beginning. So I think I'll have to remember to go in and edit it and say it starts at whatever time it started. So what, about 20 minutes late. So there might be 20 minutes blank at the beginning. Maybe not, I don't know, because I didn't physically start the stream. So I'm not sure, but I will go in and look at that. So if you do speak to any channels where you know they watch my lives, do tell them it was live, but it was a little late. So do go and check out Steve and Tina Jewel, who were here on time when the host was not. Steve and Tina Jewel for being patient. I think they've left the building now. They must have been waiting for 20 minutes and thought, no, she's not doing it. Something's happened. No, as I say, the one time I was ready and I'm just twiddling my thumbs. I've been reading a bit more of my book, which I forgot to share with you on my other channel. I normally give an update of how my book's going. So I'll give you an update on that on Wednesday on my other channel. If you like book reviews, then check out New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus on Wednesday. And that is a scheduled one. And so far, I've always been on time. It's bound to happen. But as I say, no reason for being late. I was here. So what have I got today? Well, I'm just looking to see what the title was. Come and see what's happening here. So, okay, it's a catch up really today on this channel. Nothing really overly specific, just so many little things. Let's start with, I did make a few notes, luckily, because now I'm somewhere else completely. First of all, I think actually my issues must have started this morning, because on Fridays I post a video on my other channel, New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus, and I sat down and I posted on this channel and then that channel. This channel really post on Monday and Wednesday. And for some reason, I posted on this channel today. So, guys, you've got a bonus video. Does that make up for me being late? And a little annoying because I'm a little short on videos on this channel right now. I've got some coming up, like they're sort of in the process of being made. For example, what does that mean? Well, for example, I'm doing another puzzle, and this one isn't actually time lapsed. I normally time lapse them. I show you the puzzle at the beginning, like what it is, how many pieces, that kind of thing, and then I do more or less time lapse them. But this one is more doing a bit and showing you, doing a bit and showing you. I will possibly do some more time lapse as I'm nearly getting to the end. Now, the reason for that is this puzzle looks dead easy, but it's probably one of the hardest I've done. It's a sea scene, like under the sea, and it's cartoon, and it's all funny things happening, like there's a wedding with the people under the sea, and I know people can actually do that. But it's, for example, there's so much in the picture, you think, oh, it'd be easy because you can see all the puzzle pieces, what they are. And, for example, you hold a bit up, but it's a fish or part of a fish. You're like, oh, that's easy. So you look on the picture, where is the fish? Well, there's got to be hundreds of fish in the picture. And more often than not, the same fish is somewhere else as well, but a bit different. So it's almost like a hide-go-seek type puzzle. So you'll see it when it comes up in the video in case you're interested in it. I do share it in the video, but as I say, I've not finished it yet. And that's the reason I haven't really done time lapse on it, because particularly at the beginning of doing the puzzle, it was too hard to do it, like take a bit out and see where it goes kind of thing. So now the puzzle's much nearer completion. Obviously, it's not going to be a waste of time lapse sorting through the box, trying to find things and figuring out where it goes. It's more physically doing the puzzle now. So I will probably time lapse some of that. So apologies if you're tuning in now and Dawn was rather late, but I've explained at the beginning what happened there on my live, why I was late today, even though I was just here twiddling my thumbs. But that's how things go for me, really, with my brain damage. I do lose it quite a lot and get really mixed up like that. So there we go. What else? Yesterday we went to Ziggy, which is where Mike's house is. And if you want to know more about that, then I do have a video on that on my other channel. And I have explained it many times, but if you've got questions about that, then drop a comment. And we went there yesterday. I was very apprehensive going there because it's quite a long journey, but we split the journey up going there. And if you're wondering why we went there, it was to pay the annual like property tax, I guess, that kind of thing. And because even though we rent it out as the owners, we have to pay that. Not the people renting it. We've had all sorts of news from going over there. We will be selling the property, and I do have a video that I did when we were first talking about selling it, but we're not giving it away. That's one reason we didn't sell it at that point. Plus, we know the prices were going up because there's more facilities there. So if you're interested or know someone that is interested, right now we still have tenants there, but they are talking about going. We said we would never drop a tenant or kick them out, but we decided once these ones move on, then we would definitely sell it. But as I say, not giving it away. There was a couple of people that were interested via my YouTube channel last time, offering certain amounts for it. If you're still interested, then do contact us. And as I say, we're not going to kick them out. What it is, it's 2 double bedrooms, and they have it's a married couple, and they have a boy and a girl. And the boy and the girl were sharing one of the 2 bedrooms. Well, now they're pre-teenage. the parents have said, we really want them now to have their own bedrooms. Don't know how they can really afford a 3rd bedroom property to rent, but that's up to them. They say they want to do it, but also the wife has told the guy who sorts out the rental for us, they've told him that she stopped working now, she doesn't want to work anymore, so they want more, i.e. a 3rd bedroom property, but they are bringing in even less. So I don't really know what's that all about. So I don't know, unless they're going to play a scheme later on where sometimes people drop these sort of things where we might be going, and then they hope you're keep the rent at the same price or drop the rent or whatever. I don't know them, we've never met them, but that's something people try and do, such as when we were initially, a long time before we were talking about selling it, before we even rented, we were saying about should we sell it, and people said no, hold on to it, rent it, because values are going up with all the facilities there. We did have 2 sisters, like adults, middle-aged adults, said they wanted it, but they said we really want to pay for a 1-bedroom place because we're happy to share a bedroom, so we'll buy it off you, but for the price of a 1-bedroom property. We've also had people say we don't really want anywhere with a garden. It's got a big courtyard garden with a mandarin tree and a lemon tree in it. And people have also said to us, well, we don't really need the garden, so we're paying the price without a garden. You know, we're not stupid. It's of its age. I think it's the 60s. I think it was built in the 60s. It's not a modern property, but again, people are saying, oh no, we want a modern place, but they're willing to pay that price. And can we do it up first? You know, these things. You're buying it as it is. And as I say, we haven't seen what it's like now inside since we've had the last few tenants, because we've actually got someone who lives over there that deals with it all for us. So there was someone who via YouTube asked to buy it before from us, and basically the only reason we didn't go ahead with that sale was because he asked, which was fair enough, could we go and do like a live feed showing him round the property, which I agree with, that is what you would want to do. You didn't want to come over and see it, but as you will know, in Cyprus it's illegal to film in shops and public buildings. Actually illegal, not they don't like it. So therefore you can understand that they also wouldn't allow that, why we have tenants in the property to go and film it, because it's their stuff in there. So if you're listening and you're still interested, obviously if they do go, and I think we need to know from them, are they going or are they not, then obviously we will get a date and then we can go and film it, because it's important for us to see it as well. So let me know if you are interested or anyone else. We're not sure of the value now. It was up for, I think, something like absolute minimum of 160, but that was before the prices rose. And whatever price it goes for, we are not accepting offers. So whatever price we decide on, it will be starting price, meaning if other people want to go beyond that price, we will go with them. We don't get into bidding wars, so basically we ask for a one-time offer. So, and then we take all the offers in and we go for the highest price that's a definite sale, as in if you've got to raise finance or mortgage or anything like that, obviously we're going to sell more to a cash buyer or someone who's literally ready to go. But if you want any more info on that, if you want the link to the video when I did show the inside of it, but bear in mind this was before our previous tenants, so I can't confirm that it looks like that, or they haven't painted something, who knows. Do drop me a comment, just say you've got an interest, even if you just want to see it. You never know. I know a lot of people are looking to move abroad or own a holiday home abroad or whatever else. then if you're just curious and just want to see the video, then of course just drop me a comment and I'll send you the link to the video. Anyway, when we went to Ziggy, as I say, it's a bit of a journey, and so on the way we stopped, and it's the Stihl shop. If you know the garden and DIY tools Stihl, it's a shop there. It's not actually owned by Stihl, but we had our chainsaw there for repair, and it's the shop where I think last year there's a lot of seeds you can't get in Cyprus, and they actually have them. So I bought all my bean seeds there. So Mike said, well, if you want to come all that journey, we'll stop there and you can see if there's any different seeds. So of course I bought all sorts of seeds, not just seeds that we can't get there, but any that I needed. They're all 99 cents a packet. Most seeds, if not all seeds in Cyprus, are 99 cents a packet, apart from a few very like rare, unique, bizarre brands. Well, you don't need that. So I got some onion white Lisbon. Now to me these are actually more like a leek than an onion, but technically they're an onion white Lisbon. So I got some of those. I got this is a different type of cabbage. It's very hard to grow cabbage and cauliflower in Cyprus. It's way too hot. I'm going to give it another go, but this is Savoy cabbage, which is like a ready cabbage. And the reason I've chosen that one is because I hear a lot of YouTubers are growing Savoy cabbage. So I'm just assuming it's easier to grow, maybe in some respect. So I'm just going to give that a try. I'm not holding out hope for it, but 99 cents, we'll see. I grow Malabar spinach, which I know isn't a technical type of spinach. When people think it's a spinach, it's not spinach as you know spinach. So I thought, well, let's actually grow some proper spinach. I've never grown spinach before. If you've got any tips on growing actual spinach, let me know before I start this. This is tetragonia, and this is spanaki. Spanaki is Greek for spinach. I'm much better with the Greek words than the English words. And this is an oriental spinach. And as I say, if you've got any tips, do drop me a comment, or if you've got a video on growing this type of spinach, then drop the link in the comments and I'll come and watch it. Or any tips about growing spinach. As I said, I've never grown spinach before. I'm not allowed to eat spinach. There's only 12 things I can now eat, but that's not going to stop me enjoying gardening. And it's more like what should we call it, like a learning game I play now. I can't eat 99% of what I now grow, but I'm still growing it for the fun. I thought about, shall I just get rid of my garden? Mike can still eat things. I can still make things for him. It's very sad making things for someone else when you can't eat them. But I thought, no, I like experimenting. So I'm going to still grow things. So this is oriental spinach. This says an early variety, most suitable for autumn sowing and winter harvesting. So it grows quick then. An expanded posture head, leaves with elongated petiole, long lanceolate, beyond me, terminating at the tip, medium dark green flesh. And I probably butchered that, but obviously if I read it to you in Greek, I'll be much more fluent, but then you won't know what I was saying. Okay. Then I decided we can't really grow beans in Cyprus. I got 2 lots of beans that did grow and I harvested. I shared them in a video on my other channel, New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus. And I do want to try again. So I'm thinking I'm going to grow these over winter. It's because it's so dry here and so hot. So I thought I'm going to grow these over winter. Ignore when you're supposed to grow things and grow these in our coolest time and see if that does any better. So I went for this type. I didn't grow these ones before. And there's so many seeds in here. It's absolutely packed. I can feel the seeds. And I thought, because this is a dwarf bean, they probably will grow better because they grow quicker and they don't need all that time to puff out. And these will probably hold any water better. I never give up on something. Same with that cabbage. I'll never give up on something. It was like sweet corn I had trouble with the first time, and cucumber. My goodness, I couldn't grow cucumber until I got my little tip of, when you plant cucumber seeds, plant 2 or 3. I often do 4 to make sure touching. So the pointy bits touch 2 or 3 seeds together, and then they just grew. It just grew like some magic miracle, and no one's been able to tell me why that works, but by golly, it does. So I won't give up. And I always say to you, don't give up on something and think, oh, I can't grow it. Try different things. Try growing them obviously in a different area. Try growing them in a different way, and just try totally different things, which is why I never grow one thing in one area. You'll see around my garden, I have the same crop in many different areas and many different ways, and then I work out what's best. So for example, I find growing my things in pet food bags, they really grow well. My best ground method of growing is hugelkultur. So if you have any trouble, they're my best 2 plans for you. So yeah, these are the dwarf beans that I've got. What's that say? Haricot Maine, does that say? Haricot, oh, Haricot Maine. Most of our seeds in Cyprus come from Italy, so that is Italian, not Greek or Cypriot on the top. You'll see most stuff. Yeah, it just is dwarf bean. There doesn't seem to be a type here. It's whitish grain with brown fly, small in size, green, long and straight. Contains 10 to 12 beans. No way. That is more than 10 to 12 beans. I mean, just here, I would say 10 to 12 is this bottom corner. That is more than 10 to 12 beans. I'm assuming that's an average of a bean packet, because if you get the big bean seeds, yeah, that's probably 10 to 12 packet. I'm not joking. There's tons there. If I fold it down like that, that is absolutely puffy full of beans, and these are the smaller beans, so that's more than 10 to 12. Maybe if I remember when I open it, I'll count it and confirm. That is more than 10 to 12. I would say 10, 20. Oh, there's got to be plenty in there. So there's that one. I got this just because it was there, and today I knew I was going to harvest the last of my beetroot, and again I grow beetroot for Mike. So I thought, as I was harvesting it yesterday, I would get padzari, beetroot padzari. So I got beetroot for him. What's it say here? Mid-early variety, spherical root, dark red flesh, smooth skin, vivid green leaves of medium growth. So that's just your average beetroot. So yeah, I cooked his beetroot today. And then this, just because I haven't grown this type before, it's a long yellow pepper, pepperia. There. And that says, sweet pepper. Cone shape, fleshy fruit, bright green colour that becomes yellow at the end of ripening. Now I've got red ones like this. My red ones curl a little bit, but really big giant ones. So what's this one say? Capsium annuum. And this is sowing outdoors, March, April, May. Sowing seed beds, February. planting out, March, harvest, January, February, March, April, May, June. It says 6 months, so I have to count June, July, August and September. So yeah, can't eat peppers, but there you go. Oh, that's all the seeds. Although last time I went shopping, I got fennel. I got fennel. I'm looking for bok choy and I'm looking for curly kale. I can't seem to get those anywhere at the moment. I've looked at about 3 places. So I'm looking for bok choy and curly kale are 2 things that I can eat. I've never eaten them, but I'm going to have to like them because I can eat them. Wow. So I want to grow those. Also, I got some honey. Honey because I wanted rooting compound. Got rooting compound because all my new fruit trees I want to break bits off and root them, but honey is a natural way of rooting cuttings. Another way, I have got a video that I've done about natural ways to root things, but the other tip I've got is aloe vera. Aloe vera, if you've either got the pad, you can get the liquid out and just dip it there, or you can actually get aloe vera gel. I don't know if you get that from a health food shop or if you can get it in your cosmetic places where you buy your cosmetics, but it normally comes in a little fat jar, and that's aloe vera gel. You can use that, which is probably cleaner than aloe vera plant. So if you want to root things and you can't get, or you don't want rooting compound, I got that because I just know I've got that then. And I've not actually tried honey before, the rooting compound, but this is supposed to work better because it also gets rid of any infection. So if you've cut off and you haven't cleaned your secateurs when you've cut a branch off, and any cross-contamination does happen to get into that bit you've cut off, your stem, then if you dip it in honey, apart from being a good rooting compound, it will also get rid of any infection. So there's that. And while we were in Ziggy having a coffee, meeting up with our friends there, I picked up a magazine, free magazine in the coffee shop. And I said, are they free? She said, yes. And I thought, oh, that's good. That will be good practice for me. I like to read Greek books and Greek magazines. And then I realised, no, it's in English. It's actually both. This is how you get a lot of magazines here. Let me find a page where I give you a good example. Oh, that's not a pleasant subject. I don't want to show that on camera. Right, this is a good example. This is how you get a lot of magazines here. So you'll see this first column is English, and right next to it is the same words translated into Greek there. So you can read it in both languages, but the good thing is if you're learning, you can actually use it as a translation book, and you can try and read it in Greek first, and if you get stuck, oh, it's in English next to it. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if any other countries do things like that, if they've got bilingual magazines. You can buy learning books like that, like language learning books, and you can read half and half. But that's how a lot of actual magazines come here, which is lovely. Lovely. So that's that. I did say on my last live that on the 4th of November, me and Mike have been here for 18 years. So on the way back from Ziggy, we actually stopped at a restaurant, and we had a celebratory meal. How did Dawn do that when she can barely eat anything? Well, Dawn suffered for that greatly. Yes. So we had a celebratory meal there. What else? The only other thing I've been doing really, apart from my embroidery, which if you want to see that, look at my last live and I showed you my embroidery that I'm doing, is I'm trying to catch up on the garden. You may or may not know we have volunteers that come and, oh, that's Fossil. You want to come and say hello? There she is. Oh, she wants to go on the back of my chair. You'll have to look at her over my shoulder. She won't look at you. She doesn't like looking at you. Look, she's trying to look at me without looking at you. Yeah, so we have volunteers here from all around the world. It's a worldwide association called Workaway. You can have it in your country, just apply. If you want to know how to do that, drop me a comment and I'll give you the link and explain any questions you have. It doesn't have to be for gardening. It can be decorating a home or anything at all. Anyway, the last 3 we've had booked in have all cancelled for genuine reasons. I'd like to think they do say why. I just hope it's all truth. But that means we've had no volunteers for quite some time and won't have any more for the rest of the season. Lucky I chopped down all my olive trees to a very small height and thinned them all out last year. So picking the olives by myself this year will not be a task at all. But it's the aftermath of that, because even though I've cut them all down, every year you have to prune them back and you get on the main branches, you get all the green tufts of trying to produce more leaves all the time. So that is a long task. So my job has been to try and cut up all the wood from what I've cut down in the last 2 years of those. It's been in piles. I recently, you would have seen on my other channel, I cut back severely one of the carob trees. You couldn't even see the trunk. It was a really tall tree. You couldn't even see the trunk for what had grown there. So I've sorted all that up. I like to strip all leaves off of everything because I don't like leaving trunks and branches and the leaves die off and then it's a big mess. Plus it's also nesting areas for snakes. I don't mind if you've got branches and twigs, things like that, but I don't like all the leaves dropping. So I've been stripping all the leaves, been filling all my raised beds with all the leaves and all the bits and pieces of those. I've cut a lot of the wood down, huge amount of wood we've got ready cut, and it looks like we're not going to have a cold winter at all. So but at least it dries out better and it all sits there. And I'm trying to get through this weekend, although it's still a heat wave, so I only do a few hours. I'll get up about 5 o'clock Saturday and Sunday and get as much more cleared as I can of the last 2 years of cutback of olive trees that's still in big piles. I've done one whole area and I'm going to work on another area tomorrow, and I won't get that done. That'll probably take, as I say, I can't do that many hours because I've got to get up early just to even start. So we'll see how much I get done of that over the weekend. So there's that. I just want control back of the garden basically, and I need a lot of the raised beds refilled. That's the difference between good raised beds and good hugelkultur beds. If the hugelkultur beds, they just keep rejuvenating themselves, although you top them up and you cut grass and whatever. The raised beds seem to sink down much quicker. So the raised beds I have to fill, so I'm filling those with all the leaves and some of the cut downs. With secateurs, I literally cut down any thin twigs and that. I cut. So you've got lots of little bits. This is why it takes me so long. Don't tell me you can get secateurs that you don't need to do with your hand. They're I think they're battery operated and they go and cut themselves. Apart from being really expensive, I've heard a lot of people that aren't promoting them, being paid to promote them or got them free for a promotion, are actually saying they're not that good in relation to price versus hand secateurs. I think, if I'm right in saying, you have to adjust them for the size that you're cutting. So not for me, those kind of things. I have been using my reciprocating saw that I got myself. I love it. I absolutely love it. And Mike's got his chainsaw repaired, as I said, that we picked up on the way to Ziggy. And he does the great big tree trunks. But it's amazing how bigger things I can cut through. If it's extremely hard wood, not a good idea. If it's kind of that size, olive trees are fine. Bigger than that I can cut through, but I am using the blades for olive trees. So of course, if I want to cut other types of wood, I would go and get different blades. When we bought it, he did say, what are you going to be using it for? And I said at the time it was to do all my olive trees. And he said, these are the blades for olive trees. So they're the only blades I've got. Apart from it came with one free short blade. Can't remember if that's for metal or for cutting out, like if you're shaping wood or something. I can't remember, but it's a blade for DIY type stuff, I believe. So there's that. So yes, I really want to get control back of the garden, as in there's piles of things. The garden's not weedy or anything like that. We've got no grass yet with this long extended summer. We got no grass. Oh, we've got Pebbles in. She might not come over here at the moment because Fossil's sitting on the arm of the chair. There's Fossil. There, she's on the arm of the chair. Pebbles is, oh, Pebbles gone again because she's seen Fossil. Yes. Pebbles decided she didn't want her breakfast today, so she must have got something during the night, but now she's starving hungry. Because they only have breakfast and then they have tea about 4 o'clock, and it's now almost 3 o'clock. So, yeah. She's like, I'm going to have something to eat now. Oh, dear. So yes, before this live I was editing my live from before, because I did a video on what I do 10 minutes before I actually come on the live. So I was editing that down a little bit, and I have asked, if you do lives, make a video showing what you do 10 minutes before a live. Is it all hectic? Is it like, oh, I just go live? Or do you go and make a cup of tea? Or do you get out notes and see what you're going to be doing? Or do you do what I often do? Oh, set up, go live. What am I going to talk about today? But I do ask if you use that idea for a video for yourself to show what you do 10 minutes before you go live. I do ask that you do credit my channel for the idea, both saying my channel in your video and also a link to my channel in your description. But other than that, I'm quite happy to share my content. I do often see my content out and about on other people's channels, and everyone's going, wow, that was a really good exclusive idea you had there. Yeah, and they've even titled it basically what I title mine. People do series titling it, and I was like, oh, good luck to you then. You obviously haven't got your own ability of thought. I've got no qualms with you using my ideas as long as you credit them. Oh, yeah, so let's talk about workaways. So you do have to be careful if you get requests from volunteers a last minute. And think about why it is last minute. Why are they only suddenly deciding, can you please accommodate me? So it's got to be a bit of a red flag anyway. It can be for reasons such as they're already in your country. Remember, I'm an island, so it's not like they're moving around Europe or moving around America and they're just, oh, can we come here today? Can we come here today? You've physically got to have a flight. There's no other way really to get to here unless you come on the ferry boat, which takes a long, long time. You wouldn't really come like that. So they must have got a flight here. And I had one the other day. Oh, can I come? I have none of the abilities you asked for. Well, we do say we will teach you things, so that wasn't a problem. I won't be hiring a car, which is a necessity because I don't drive. So how they're going to go and get things? But I see that you have a dance studio, so we'd like to just come and practice dancing there. All the time we're there, we're going to really want to spend a lot of time learning dancing and using the studio. I can see why you're coming then. And they wanted to come the next day. So that tells you they must be in Cyprus, or they were literally flying in and what they had planned on doing hadn't panned out for some reason. Interesting. The other scenario could be they're already here and they're not doing the help they've been asked to do, and they've been asked to leave. So now they're in the lurch. I would never take someone that short notice. And for the same reason, if someone applies to me to volunteer, I give them so many days to clarify they are definitely coming. Because also they can just put out to like 5, 6 different hosts to say, oh, I really like your place. It's exactly what I'm looking for. I know we'll be such a perfect match. And then they don't come. So they're obviously fishing around. And so I feel if you really feel like that, then you don't need to be looking elsewhere. If I say I feel we're compatible as well. So the platform Workaway actually say, because people can get let down like that badly, and I can only take either one person or a couple at any one time, as in partner couple, because they have to share a bed. I have a double bed, that is what they have. So I can't be saying like those that offer dormitories and can have 5, 10, 15 volunteers at a time. If one drops out, it doesn't really bother them. With me, if someone says they're coming to help pick my olives and then the last minute they don't come, I'm left to doing that completely on my own, which, as I say, for me now, it isn't a problem, but they don't know that. And so Workaway has suggested, as it basically, I could also have been turning down another request after this person applied, and then they're not coming now, so the other person's gone somewhere else now. So for that reason, Workaway has said what you need to do is when they say they're coming, I decide to give them a set amount of time, and I ask for their flight number to prove that they're coming anyway. Then if they don't turn up, it shows they've gone to somebody else in Cyprus, and you can report them if they've said they're not able to come for reasons of not able to travel or come to Cyprus. You can report them if they have indeed come to someone else and made a false excuse. And the other thing is Workaway said that what you also do is say to them, you need to now reply, write in the actual words, I am definitely confirming I am coming to your place. And then, as I say, if they don't then come and make a reason, Workaway, I can't trace where they've gone. You can see on the map where they say they're travelling to next, but Workaway can then check them out. So, and the other thing, just in case you're interested in doing volunteers, the other thing to note is same as Airbnb, you can only book the person applying. Now, you can do a joint membership. So let's say you're a couple. It can be a girlfriend, boyfriend scenario. It can be a married couple, or it can be traveling companions where you can say, I've linked up with this person that you could either have met on a hosting, and the volunteers can pair up and say, right, I'm traveling by myself here, but we'll meet up in Cyprus and go as a pair. So you can do that, but you have to link that in your volunteer profile. if somebody applies, for example, a man applies and he says, I want to come with my girlfriend, but she's not on a profile, whether separately or joint, you cannot accept them, because it's, as I say, same as Airbnb. You can only, on Airbnb, if someone says they want to come and stay with you, it has to be the person whose icon is there. They have to be coming, and they have to list all the people they are coming with. If they don't have a picture on their icon, Airbnb says you cannot accept the booking. And that's normally where you hear a lot of problems on Airbnb, that someone's come and it's a party and it shouldn't have been and all that. It's normally the host hasn't followed the rules, and then they're trying to get some compensation for Airbnb. It's like anything, follow rules of the platform you're on, and they will help you left, right and centre. As soon as you diverse from the rules, you're out on your own. Such as also Workaway volunteer platform says only make contact and speak via the Workaway chat platform. And you'll see a lot of volunteers go, oh, call me directly on WhatsApp. I don't have WhatsApp anyway. But as soon as you converse outside the system, the network, you're on your own. You can't get any help from the platforms, obviously. The only time you can start conversing together is, let's say, a volunteer has now arrived, coming to me. They've arrived in Cyprus. I have given them my address and Mike's phone number. And I say, once you've arrived in Cyprus, then you can obviously use that. And that's when they can converse with you, because they've already come. And there are rules, as with anything, in place to say if the volunteers, for example, aren't doing as it says in the job description, so to speak, then you have a right to ask them to leave at once. You are not liable for them if there's things. So that's the cat knocking the table. If, for example, the volunteers smoke and it clearly says no smoking or vaping, then you have a right to ask them to leave immediately. So things like that. So Mr. Colin Waffles has come to say hello. What are you looking at? You look at the ceiling. Oh, there he is. You look a bit stern today. Is it the bright light? Oh, and Fossil's come back as well. When I was doing my video about what I do 10 minutes before the live, it was brilliant because Fossil and Mr. Colin Waffles always come in and float around and sit in my chair. And they did, because they thought I was obviously getting ready for the live, so I could film them in that to show how they are always there. So that was really cool. Okay, so if you don't know my cats and you're interested in my cats, here are my 4 cats. Are my 4 cats. If you haven't met them all yet, where have you been? Where have you been? They've all been featured heavily in different videos on both this channel and my other channel, so check them out. My cat videos in the cat diaries. So what have I been harvesting and growing lately? Well, I said I harvested my beetroots today, the last of my beetroots. I have been harvesting dates. I think I've picked all the dates now. Yes, I think all my dates are picked. So I have date palms. And it's funny, I've got 4 date palms in my garden. Yes, I think 3 or 4 date palms in my garden. And different years, different ones have dates on. They've never all had dates on the same time, which is very bizarre. So I've been harvesting my dates. I'm keeping seeds from everything. So they will all be my seed giveaways that I do every month. I've been harvesting all my grapes finished. And of course, I've been keeping the seeds from those. Watermelons, melons. I've got all my seeds drying out over there. Malabar spinach. These are seeds I'm harvesting. We bought shop apples. I do have a few apple trees, but they're tiny, tiny baby trees, so I don't get apples from those. But apples, green apples, is something I can eat. I have to do a quiz. I slowly mention things, and you'll have to see if you can find the 12 things I can eat. So green apples, so that's basically a meal for me. I've been saving the seeds of those. Peaches. We don't have peach trees now. We bought 2 in the spring, but obviously they don't produce much yet. So we've been buying peaches. So I want to try and plant some peach trees. I bought a brand new fruit tree, which you can see the video on my other channel to see what that is. And we bought a pineapple, and I'm trying to grow that. I don't think it's viable because you're supposed to have very fresh looking green leaves on it. By the time I got to planting the top of the pineapple tree, the leaves were quite dried out, which is odd because you're supposed to let it dry up for 2 days anyway, and by then the green leaves aren't that viable. So I will be doing another one, but I will share with you how to do that. And Mike's been buying me mango. I can eat mango. I can eat mango, and he's been buying me mangoes, and I've started to mango seeds. Would you call them seeds? They're very big. They're about this big. Mango seeds. His paw's coming up to get me. I've been buying 2 mango. Got 2 mangoes. So I've got 2 mango seeds going. Here he is. I got 2 mango seeds on the go. They got little shoots on there about this big, and I am doing a video on this channel. If you've seen my playlist Dawn's Diary, do look out for that, and it will be on an upcoming episode of Dawn's Diary, which is little snippets of things I've done in my week. So it will be on there to show you, as I've said before, if you haven't seen inside a mango, it's absolutely awesome. It's awesome. I'll show you that on there, how you cut a mango open and what is inside. And if you don't know, you would never guess. I assumed it was like an avocado where you have a big stone in the middle. Nope. No, it's like a big purse inside, and you have to get in the purse, and then there's this big seed inside, really big seed, and you plant that, and there's a special way of planting it which I share with you as well. But they're doing really well. So if you're interested in that, then stay tuned and look out. As I say, it's I've got the playlist of Dawn's Diary, so it will be in an upcoming episode soon on there. And if you don't know what else I grow, have a look at this. stuck with the cat. He was upside down in my arms while you were watching that. He was absolutely upside down. That is his tail up on my arm. That black furry thing on my arm there. No, the other side, that side. That's his tail up there. Your tail is in the wrong place, Mr. Waffles. It's in the wrong place. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for today because they obviously want their dinner pretty soon. They don't get it till 4, but I've got a couple of little bits I want to do. But they're all hanging round. They're all hanging round. So, again, apologise for being late today. If you've just come into the chat, you'll see what I'm talking about. I said at the very beginning what was going on with that. Okay, so I'll go finish with Quote Corner and then my outro. And I will be back here tomorrow on my other channel on Monday, New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus. So if you haven't found that channel, do have a look and see. And the times are on Monday on my other channel, my live is UK 3:30 p.m, EST 10:30 a.m, Central 9:30 a.m, PST 7:30 a.m. So something there for all of you. If you're in another country and you translate those times, do tell me and I will add that to my list to share with you. So thanks for watching and see you soon.